I am excited that we are back here for our MEWC and MECC World Finals.
For 2 days, instead of only 16 people, we now have almost 200 people playing at the stage, on the stage. So amazing.
Here we go, 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
All right.
Dim doing. All right, Dim is setting up some named ranges. That's going to help him out in the future. So that's map 30 seconds to go.
And it's, are we going to see?
I think it's coming.
Are we going to see the belt go from Australia to Canada?
Where's
Is the
it
belt
going, guys? Come on, let's hear some noise
to
in the audience.
All right, let's see. 10
Where are we
seconds
going?
left. 10 seconds.
Come on.
Is anything going to happen?
Can anybody throw a Leroy Jenkins out in the last few seconds?
Leroy Jenkins.
Come on,
All
Leroy.
Right.
Michael Jarman.
Look at that. Look
Takes
at that.
the win.
Look at that.
Oh.
Michael Jarman.
Belt, you have earned it. Congratulations, my friend.
If you're looking to grow your business, worrying about having the right supplies and products in stock without overspending or wasting time shouldn't be on your to-do list. Order.co provides the easiest way to purchase and pay for everything your business needs, keeping operations running smoothly and your team focused on what matters most. Cut costs and complexity with every order and visit order.co today.
Hello and welcome to the Road to Las Vegas Battle 7 for the Microsoft Excel World Championships 2025. Today we will get 10 more qualifiers into the main draw who will enter, and through various rounds that we'll explain in a bit, we'll get down to final 12 in Vegas who will compete to win this World Championship belt. Well, not this one, this is mine. Now, if you're thinking who turns up to host a live stream wearing a World Championship belt, that's pretty arrogant. You have to remember that A, it is a bit of a bit, and B, anybody would look arrogant compared to my co-host, the most humble MVP of them all, Mr. Charles Mail. Charles, great being with you today. You excited?
I'm really excited, not least because I get to co-host this with you, one of the Titans. I can't wait. We've done the case, so we're going to talk about that at some stage. But yeah, let me do an intro for you, Michael. So for anybody watching that doesn't know who Michael is, welcome to XL Esports. You must know who Michael is. He's the reigning world champion of XL with one of those awesome belts. He's not bad at financial modeling either. I think there's a good chance you might win the other competition as well, Michael. And for me, the sign that you've made it in life is when you've got your own merch. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but we're both wearing Jarmy Army merch. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Is your hat too big, Michael? Too big?
Yeah, no, they are quite big. I'd recommend for those looking to order in the store, I'd maybe order a size smaller than you normally get, as they are very. I've got a pretty big head, and they're pretty good. But no, they're lovely hats, and yeah, please do. If you'd love a Jarmy Army hat, go to the merch shop and get one. I don't get any money from that, by the way. So yeah, just
get one.
Just for the love of the game.
100% get one. We've started a thing. We think it's a thing where you've got to take pictures of you or just the Jarmy Army hat in special places around the world. So go and get a Jarmy Army bucket hat. Now, it's worth acknowledging, I know there have been some tech issues going on this round. So look, huge apologies for that. It doesn't normally happen. We will see if we've got scores ready at the end of this round. It may be the case that the team have to follow up afterwards, but we just want to acknowledge it up front. Doesn't change what we're going to do for the live stream over the next 30 minutes. You're still going to see a great battle, but I know that has happened. So on that note, now that you've met us, shall we talk about the MEWC season? So if you've never seen this before, if you've never seen a battle, you don't know who Michael Jarman is, we're going to show you a video that explains how the Microsoft XL World Championship season works.
Welcome to the Microsoft XL World Championship Season 2025. There are 9 Road to Las Vegas battles that occur throughout the year. It is advised but not mandatory to participate in all of them to qualify for the finals in Las Vegas. From each of the 9 Road to Las Vegas battles, 10 participants get a ticket to the main draw of the competition, meaning they can skip the Microsoft XL World Championship qualification round. These 90 people will be a part of the Microsoft XL World Championship main draw, which has 256 spots. The remaining players will be determined through the qualification round on September 27th and the Financial Modeling World Cup regular season. Then, the MEWC online rounds will start on October 11th, with 256 people that will play each other in a playoff format. After 2 rounds of play, the 256 players will be eliminated down to 64. The competition will continue on October 18th, where the players will be eliminated down to 16. The last 16 round will determine the top 8 players who qualify directly into the Day 3 finals in Las Vegas. The remaining 24 players from last 32 round, as well as 16 players from last 64 round, who didn't make it to top 32, are qualified for the Day 2 matches of the in-person competition. So, how will the Las Vegas finals work? On December 1st, a day before the main event, a last chance qualification round will be held for all the players that arrive to Las Vegas. 15 winners of the last chance qualification round will be playing on the gorgeous HyperX Arena on December 2nd. They will be joined by the 40 players from the online rounds, 8 local chapter champions, and 1 wildcard chosen by the organizers. From these 64 players, 16 will qualify for the Day 3 finals on December 3rd. They will join the 8 winners of the online rounds to form a 24-player pool, competing for the champion's title. Plan your Vegas trip now. Book hotels at exclusive rates, secure affordable flights, schedule your visa interview, and get set for an amazing time with fellow XL enthusiasts. Don't wait for online rounds in October. They might make your qualification path easier, but no matter what, you can still compete in Vegas. Good luck, and see you in Las Vegas.
Well, there we go. That's the very simple route in which you can win one of these. So Yeah, for one of the qualifiers into the draw will be one of our 4 people today. I will say, Charles, I don't know about you, but like this is a pretty stacked field. I wouldn't fancy trying to qualify with these 4 today. It's going to be tough.
No. Yeah, it's a strong field.
Yes, certainly is. Let's bring them in. Here we are. Here are 4 lucky contestants today. So I will say, in the MEWC commentary box, we are very unbiased, but for some people, we are more unbiased than others, or less unbiased, whichever it is. As our first competitor we're going to be introducing is Esther van der Moon, who is a colleague of mine here at Operas. She's working from home, so she can have an extra screen, but I can hear everybody in the kitchen watching and cheering you on, Esther. Esther, are you feeling confident today?
I think so. We'll see how it goes. Just going to do my best.
All right, good work. Next, we've got Will Freestone. Now, Will's a very experienced financial modeler. We ask our players sometimes to like share some fun facts about themselves. Will's first fun fact was he's an Esports XL player, which he did make the joke himself that in any other crowd of people, that's an interesting fun fact. For anybody watching this, that's just like bog standard entry level. So the other interesting fact he shared was he's got a cat that has a really nice white fur coat, which means he's my favorite now.
Take it. Yeah, thank you very much.
Now, for our third competitor, I will say, Charles, that I'm feeling pretty patriotic this week. The Lionesses won the Euros. We've got 2 of our sort of FMWC UK finalists here today. Esther's moving to the UK soon as well, so hopefully we'll have a third. We've got our British World Champion, our British MVP. But there is one man who can throw all of our tea into the harbour and really ruin Britain's day, because he is competing from the USA, and he is a top competitor both in the FMWC and is in the top 40 of the MEWC this year. It's Joseph Michael Palasok. Joseph, are you feeling like the favourite going today, or are you still pretty nervous?
Not feeling like the favorite, but not nervous at all. I'm just gonna have fun today. So it's a good group here.
That's the main thing.
Good stuff. And then rounding it off, we have Jackson Newton. And Jackson works for Essex County Council, heavily involved in data. I'm surprised you shared this with me, Jackson, but you said that your main role is to stop people using Excel.
Well, that's part of it. And it is painful, I'm afraid to say, when you have Excel being used in lieu of a database. So yeah, a lot of it is about that culture change. But obviously it's second to none. There's an analysis tool. I've never denied that.
All right, and how are you feeling? I forgot to ask you this, Will. How are you feeling, Jackson?
I feel like it's going to be quite tight, the scoring today. Like there's like a sort of score compression, I think, where people are getting really good, and I'm seeing the scores getting really close. So yeah, a little nervous about it.
Okay, good stuff. Well, look, Will, I'll ask you quickly because I forgot. I got too excited by your cat's white fur coat. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, good, thank you. Yeah, definitely feeling the nerves a bit, especially with the slightly extended wait. But yeah, ready to go.
All right. Well, this is the moment. So we're going to send you off to look at the case for the first time. In the meantime, we will show everybody else watching the case animation video.
Welcome to the Road to Las Vegas, Battle 7. These series of Excel esports battles are part of qualification to the main draw of the Microsoft Excel World Championship 2025, with the finals taking place in HyperX Arena Las Vegas in December. We are glad to present you the case for the battle, Lost Instructions, designed by Peter Scharl from the US. Good news, you and 24 friends did an Excel battle. The guesses from the battle are provided on tabs 1 to 25 in column E and correspond to each player. Bad news, you all accidentally deleted the instructions and are unable to figure out what the correct answers are. Good news, you reached out to the FMWC and they provided you with some information to determine the correct answers. Bad news, the information they provided wasn't the exact correct answers that you were looking for. You now have to read the rules of each level to determine the correct answer for each game. Good news, you and your friends have now learned to never accidentally delete instructions. The case has 140 questions of 7 levels of difficulty and 5 bonus questions. Plan your strategy wisely. Good luck and see you in Las Vegas.
So there we are. Slightly odd case, I will say. I remember watching that video when I sort of did the case for the first time. I was like, what on earth is going on? But Peter Schall is rapidly garnering a reputation for being a very good case writer. Cases are both a lot of fun, very inventive, and generally quite approachable compared to some cases that, I mean, I can't talk. I'm part of the problem. But Giles, I thought this one was quite a nice case.
Yeah, so I'm kind of frustrated with how I performed on this. I think, you and I have talked about this. We've seen each other's solutions. Feels like almost more than any other case I've experienced, the first minute or two and deciding on your strategy makes such a huge difference. I know you agree. Obviously, you did it better than me.
Yeah, I think there are certainly there's a multitude of ways that people can sort of try and collate all of the data and put all of that together. And yeah, I'm not going to give too many hints away until we get started. But yeah, I think how people sort of look to try and get that together in a useful way so that they can then start attacking like the meat of the case. I think that would be sort of a crucial thing as to who sort of wins today.
Yeah, and I know in the kind of video time up front, I was trying to be really clever and trying to come up with some sort of fancy lambda I knew I was going to have to try and collate information across 15 tabs, and I just failed. So what I was doing was 25 tabs even. So what I was doing was very manual, yeah, there's definitely better ways of approaching it.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing I quite liked about this case is I'm not a big fan of the sort of the lambda prep before people get going. It's not what you get in Vegas, so I try and keep myself just to doing it in half an hour. Obviously, if you want to do that yourself, then you do. It's within the rules. But yeah, I like the cases where you look at the case and you go, oh, well, there's nothing I can really do, so I'm just going to get going. Yeah, big well done to Peter for writing this case. Curious to hear from those in the chat what people thought of the case. I think generally people have been quite positive. But yeah. Do you want to bring our competitors back in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here they are. So, does anyone have any questions, clarifications about the case they'd like to ask before they get going?
Well, good.
Are you ready for the countdown? I mean, we did kind of semi-discuss everybody has to do a 5-second dance to kick this off, but do you want to just go with a normal 3, 2, 1 countdown?
I think for the sake of everybody.
Oh! Joseph's done it. We'll take that. All right, here we go. So, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Here we go. Battle 7 is underway, and now the 4 competitors aren't listening to us. We can discuss a little bit the thing we're alluding to, Charles. There's a few different ways you can sort of put this data together, isn't there?
Yeah, and I really did fail in quite a mammoth way on this, and as you probably saw from my file, ended up doing things quite manually by level. I saw you took some really nice kind of approaches with HStack, and you used the functionality to kind of look across a series of tabs in one go with the colons. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I think that's probably the easy way of putting things together, and you can see, or it looks like William has done this already, it's quite a not new feature, but a newish feature in Excel, which is you can sort of use HStack and VStack to sort of sum or aggregate data through sheets. Peter was very generous in this case. All of the sheets are like aligned with each other, like row 17 is always question 1. So yeah. The first thing I did, and it looks like the first thing William's done here as well, is some notion of let's just HStack all of the E columns in each sheet to get my data in a much more usable form. Once you've done that, it's not an easy case, but it's certainly, that is half the battle. There are a few other ways. I think, Giles, you used indirect, didn't you?
I used my humble indirect, which was just gave me again, like when you look at how easy it would have been to use HStack and the tab names at the start and the end of the ranges of tabs, my humble indirect definitely made things more complicated than it need to be. But yes, essentially I used indirect.
Yeah, I'd be also curious to see if anyone in the chat, I think the other thing you could probably do is sort of try and collate all the data using Power Query. It's not something I tried because I don't really know much about Power Query, but I think that is another option people could use. And I know, I think the South African local chapter had a case yesterday, which I think had a similar sort of notion of this, of like trying to get data out of different sheets. So yeah, a few different approaches here.
I've certainly never hit a case. I mean, I haven't been doing this that long, but I've never hit a case where I thought Power Query would be quicker. But yeah, I think the South African case the other day was maybe one of the first ones. I'm just noting there's points on the board. So what do we got? We've got Joseph with level 1 and bonus 1. And remember, only 2 people can get the bonus questions for each bonus level when you're on the live stream.
Yes, exactly. So it looks like that bonus one has already gone with Joseph and William. I think that one was very much just a race to whoever could do it first. Maybe Jackson and Esther decided they didn't want to sort of play in that race. But yeah, Joseph and William taking a lead there. One thing I would be curious to see is it's certainly an idea I've discussed with Esther and a few other people here a few times, is whether or not anybody just skips straight to level 4, because that's where bonus 2, essentially if you get level 4 complete, then bonus 2 should be pretty easy to come after that. Whether anybody else will sort of prioritize trying to get those points on the board and leave level 2 and 3 for later.
The other thing that crossed my mind, and I'd be really interested in like your first minute or two on this, Michael, but when I looked at the bonus questions outside of the pressure of the 30 minutes, I was starting to think, okay, well, is it the best thing to just try and solve the whole kind of challenge case in terms of like what were all the points that were scored, who was the winner, is one of the first things you do? But like, what did you do in the first 30 seconds to make a decision and then the first 2 minutes to start getting points?
So I'll say, like, strategy-wise, it's a little bit different when you're doing it at home, because you can get to all 5 bonuses in your own case, as William sort of level with Joseph. I think that's level 1 and 2 and bonus 1 for both of them. Certainly, if I was on the live stream, I'd be looking to sort of prioritize those bonuses as much as I can. So yeah, get level 1 and 4. I think as for getting the correct answers, like for bonuses 3, 4, and 5, like you need to have most of the answers together to the correct answers being the correct answer rather than the number you actually put in to answer it. You need to have most of those to get those bonus points. So, I mean, you could sort of prioritize getting the correct answer and get all the points later. That would be a very extreme version of going for the bonuses. But yeah, I think I would definitely sort of skip to level 4. And then one thing I'd be curious to see if anyone does is pay attention to the fact that although bonus 3 says you need to do level 1 through 7, it's really just asking which question across all of them everybody got right. Yeah. And I think I saw Ben Pridmore in the chat point out that that's probably the one where everyone gave the same answer. So that's one where really you could probably life hack your way into getting that without actually getting everything else, which will be interesting to see if anyone notices. I didn't notice that at the time, so I'll be really impressed if anyone does.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I'm just looking at the scores now. We've got Joseph who's gone on to 300, so he's now got levels 1, 2, and 3. He's flying through. And again, there's little like tactic things that I find quite interesting. So Joseph's just doing all of this, if I'm seeing this right, just to the right of the case sheet. For those of us that kind of default now to data tables, which is again what I did, I kind of defaulted to having a separate tab for each level. It feels like it was kind of overkill, to be honest, for this battle.
Yeah, I think so. I think the data table approach is very good, but I think this being one of the easier cases we've had this year is certainly one where I just didn't need myself by just doing it on the right. So yeah. So looking at Esther, so Joseph and William are pretty much neck and neck in first and second, but Esther very much not out of it yet, so not far behind, looking at level 3.
How did you find just understanding the questions? Because I have to admit, it did take me 30 seconds to just go, okay, what am I looking at? Where's the data? Oh my God, the data on the case sheet isn't in the same sort of cells as the data I need on all the other 25 sheets. How do I get around that? Like, did you find that frustrating?
A little bit. I mean, I think Esther, there we go, level 3, just 20 points behind that being the bonus 1 that she didn't get. So we'll see now who's going to race towards bonus 4. Level 4 and bonus 2. I think, I think, as you said, sort of at the start, it's really sort of the effort you put in at the start to sort of making like a nice, organized place where you can get all of the data from. I think once you've done that, it does make your life a lot easier. Now, level 4 seems to, I mean, Joseph and William have been stuck there for a couple of minutes. Esther is there as well. So this one is essentially, here's a list of 25 people, but one of them is missing. And it'll be interesting to see the different approaches that people use here. It looks like Joseph here on the right has sort of made a table of, the players 1 to 25, and then just manually look up, is it here or is it not? There is a little trick which I use, which is, we know the sort of the sum from the numbers 1 to 25. It's 325. It's a triangle number. If you just sum up all the numbers and then subtract that from 325, you will get the one that's left. So that could be something that like one of the 3 people on level 4 figure out. They could sort of take a bit of a lead and get a head start into getting that bonus 2 together.
I thought that was genius when I saw your solution to that. So I didn't do that. I had to tweak an existing lambda that I had that kind of allowed me to find a difference between 2 sets of data or sets of numbers. So I managed to tweak it in my 30 minutes. And then I saw your solution. I was like, oh, God, it's just so simple. But I think that's what you and Andrew and Dim and then a whole bunch of others at the top of the kind of player list here do so well. You seem to identify one of the easiest or most efficient solutions really, really quickly.
Yeah, I will say, to be fair, like the notion of comparing 2 lists of numbers, that will be very helpful in level 6 and 7. So certainly won't be wasted time if anybody has to go for a slightly more manual approach. To see William here, so he seems to be okay. So he's looking for something that isn't in that to find out the missing player. That's very clever. He seems to have done that quite elegantly, and he seems to be pretty close to getting the level out. Don't know whether he's sort of trying to prioritize get bonus 2 together first, rather than sort of verifying if he's got level 4 correct.
Yeah, possibly. Is it worth us going over to Jackson for a minute? Let's see. So we've got 3 players very, very close to each other. Joseph's just extended his lead. Let's have a look at Jackson and just see what he's doing. So what level? I think he's on level 2. He's got a partial score for level 1. So something's not quite worked on level 1 for him. And he's working on, oh, wowzers. Look, he's got some serious stuff going on there. But he's still struggling on level 2 by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think here, I mean, it is very easy to sit here at home and watch people. There is very much a different beast having to do this with the pressure and the lights on you, certainly on the live stream. And I think just the approach we've got here. I mean, there's already a lot going on for level 2, which is fine, but I think the thing we talked about at the start of like trying to sort of get the data in a nicer order. I think that's something where Jackson maybe steps back a second and goes, this is only going to get harder. Can I maybe, think of a different way to summarize the data? That will, stand him in good stead. And there's no reason why he can't come back and catch up. Once you've got that sort of sorted out, it can be very close.
Completely. And to be honest, this is exactly what I did. So I ended up with a tab for each level, and I was getting very frustrated with how much time I was taking just setting the data up for every level. And again, as soon as I saw your solution, and I've seen other top players do this, if you get the data right first and you're doing the hard work, I guess as close to source as you can in one place, everything else that you lean on off the back of that becomes so much simpler.
Yeah, absolutely. Scoreboard here is very interesting. So Joseph has level 4 and bonuses 1 and 2. Will and Esther have levels 1 through 4. So now I imagine they're both either racing to get bonus 2 together, or maybe one of them has just abandoned it and decided I'm not going to bother. Oh no, William. So William has abandoned it. He's just gone for level 5. He's no time for these bonuses. He just wants to get through level 7. He reckons. And if there's no perfect solve today, which is very possible, and somebody just manages to use that extra time to finish level 7 where the others don't, that will be key, because level 7 is worth much more than those bonuses.
So when you've been on the live streams before, Michael, are you kind of semi keeping an eye out on the other players' scores and progress so that you might kind of dive into a bonus, or do you just kind of follow a strategy and stick to it?
I very much try and my strategy is go for the bonuses. I think generally my strength is more towards sort of reading things and doing the easier questions quicker, which the bonuses often are. Yeah. We see Esther's got bonus 2 here, so nice. Esther then can get through level 5, and that will put her ahead of William. But yeah, I think you certainly do want to keep an eye on other people's scores. So that you know the bonuses and you know where you're at, but also there are some instances where if somebody solves a bonus and you sort of think, I'm not sure I could have solved that bonus yet, but they seem to have, it can sort of make you have a think about whether or not it's worth having a bit more thought about it. Certainly in sort of the grand finals last year, bonus 4, if anybody had figured that all of us could have answered that as one of the first questions, then whoever would have figured that would have won. So I remember, yeah.
But again, that's just the pressure on the day, isn't it? It's so hard. I mean, you guys are really good at this, but it's so hard to just interpret. I mean, there was a lot of data in that case, but to interpret it at that speed It's incredible.
Yeah. So William's now finished level 6 as well. He's locked out of bonus 2, so he's leading for now. If Joseph and Esther manage to sort of get through level 6 and level 7, if they all finish it, he might regret sort of leaving that bonus out there. But also, bonuses 3, 4, and 5 are sort of very much they're win more. If you finish level 7 first, then you're going to have the first crack at them. So if he can have the first crack at bonus 4 and 5, that actually might be a tactically genius move in sort of eschewing those sort of smaller amount of points so that he can get those bigger points sooner.
That's a really good point. Genuinely, I think the bonus points are going to be a factor today because you've got 3 people putting points on the board pretty quickly. Jackson's got plenty of time to catch up. I wouldn't be surprised if at least one person, I would say at least clears all first 6 levels, but probably the 7th as well. I know it's a pretty decent step up.
Yeah, I mean, level 7 is a step up. So level 6, we had lists of players, and we had a notion of this is a list of players we look at. The average, the correct answer is an average of those. Level 7 is just filtering that list down, either by divisibility, like we take all the ones that are divisible by 2, 3, or 4. There are 2 questions which ask you to filter out the prime numbers. Again, I think thinking of a very dynamic and clever solution for that when there's only 2 of them might be a bit of a waste of time, given that is quite a different and tall ask compared to the rest of them. As Joseph takes the lead, so Joseph now has level 6 as well.
Nice.
Look at Jackson a little bit more. I think still struggling a little bit through to get his data sorted out, which is a key element of this puzzle. Hopefully he can sort of get that sorted out a bit more, because that will be key in getting this going.
There was another case earlier on in the season. It may even have been another Peter Shaw case. And I remember Elliot Patterson showed me his solution after I just bombed the whole case really badly. And again, because he dealt with the data in the right way up front, most of his answers were a sum ifs or an X lookup. And there was me flapping around level by level with crazy dynamic arrays and lambdas and stuff. So yeah, I think this is another case where if you can just manage that data well in the first 2 minutes, it makes it so much easier to get the answers.
Yeah, it is probably one of the most difficult things about sort of this esport is that I've sort of sat here half the time saying how important it is to rush through and get all the bonuses as quickly as you can, and the other half going, it's very important to take your time and sort of set yourself up for success in the first 5 minutes, so that the rest of your solve is going to be much easier. Those 2 competing things are very tough to balance as a competitor.
Definitely, and I kind of feel like some of that just comes from experience, to be honest. I know, some people just take to this like it's nothing, but for most normal people, you just have to get battle experience to get used to that pressure and making good decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. So we see Esther here on level 6. She's broken out what we're going to call the data table approach. She's decided she can no longer do it in a single row, which I think at this point is a perfectly reasonable place to say that it might be better to sort of spread out your work into a sheet a little bit and then have a data table cycle through all your answers. It does take a little bit longer, which in a battle of speed might be fortunately a bit of an issue, but given level 7 is quite a big step up from level 6, having this extra room here might mean that once she's got 6 done and caught up, 7 might be easier because she has a sheet where she can just easily filter down her workings into the list of numbers that she needs.
Absolutely, and this is one of the things that I've been working on, with my training this year, where I've got macros that will set up a data table tab. So I've got all of the kind of manual work that she's had to do done for me. There's a transfer macro where it'll take the last set of data table workings that I did and bring it for the next level, which is great. But then I think sometimes you, as we talked about, Michael, you can almost get a little bit too focused on what you've done before and not step back and think, all right, what's the best solution for whatever I'm facing today?
And there goes Esther. She's completed level 6. And now this is turning into a bit of a straight race into who can finish level 7 first, because whoever finishes level 7 first, the bonuses 3, 4, and 5 will probably decide things, and none of them are that difficult. It is an interesting thing, I alluded to it earlier. All 3 of them already have the data they need to solve bonus 3. It was in level 5, but the thing at the top of the sheet does say you need levels 1 to 7, but you really only need the correct level to be working, and that is in level 5. So if any of them notice that, they can maybe get a bit of a leg up. But other than that, it's just a race to level 7. Joseph looks like he's making some good progress.
But with 13 minutes left on the board, I think I'd be pretty confident that we're going to see maybe 2 scores for full scores for level 7 as well. So those bonuses are going to be absolutely crucial.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, I think it also might be interesting if they all realise like that they get level 7 around at the same time. They all realise they're a flat race. Like, do some of them skip bonus 3 and move ahead to bonus 5 because that one's worth slightly more points? I do think it's going to be a very close between our top 3. Hopefully, Jackson still can catch him and get some more points on the board. It might be.
Which he has just done.
Yes, he has. He's up to 140, which is great to see. I think it might be a bit of a tall ask for him to catch up to our front 3 runners as well. But just to say, like, all 4 of these people, but especially our 3 who are leading, they are top competitors. So it is not easy to score this many points in this number of minutes.
No, and I would say like the Peter Charles cases are generally really well received. And this was another one where I don't think there was that much text to read through, which everybody appreciates when it isn't just an absolute wall of text. So it's a really nice case. It's really fun. It's really different. It doesn't feel like it really gave anybody an advantage if you've got pre-built lambdas for whatever else. That's the kind of stuff I hope we see, these brilliant case authors do more and more.
Absolutely agree, and I think the lack of reading can't be overstated. I mean, all 4 of our competitors today are native English speakers, but I know it's a world championship. A lot of our competitors aren't, and the less reading we can give people to do, the better. I gave people not a lot of reading doing the simple case, and they all complained. So you can't always win. But Joseph here hit a bit of a stumbling block. He's got 35% of level 7. As a competitor, I can say it's your worst nightmare when you think you've got a level done, and then you paste it in and you haven't got 4 points. Esther has now taken the lead. She's got 95%. I imagine that's because she's ignored the prime numbers, maybe. That's 2 of them. I'd expect to see 90% there, so that's interesting. But Esther now, does Esther have enough right? I mean, she's got all but 1 right. Can she just give the bonuses a go and hope for the best and hope whatever error she's made will sort of not matter?
Let's see what she's doing. So I have a feeling she's going to try and get that 5%. Looks like she might be.
I can hear some cheering in the kitchen next to me. I think she's just gone through. So I think 129, 134. They are the prime number ones. I think. I assume that's why she's got div 0 errors because she's trying to divide by 0 and it's complaining at her. So I imagine what she's going to try and do here. You can manually just list the primes between 1 and 25. There's not a lot of them. Or is she even just going to do them manually? Just like look at the 2 lists manually and just filter them out. I mean that will be enough. You don't need to overcomplicate it when there's only 2 things to go through. So the manual approach, sometimes it works, and here it certainly could be. Joseph has got some more points on the board, but it's not near as many as Esther. It suggests he's still got an error somewhere.
And I think if you look at what Esther's doing there, again, for people that maybe are watching this for the first or second time, so this is the sort of data table approach. You're solving the logic once for one of the level rows, and then you use a data table to essentially repeat the logic for all of the other rows on that level, and it gives you that answer. But on the left-hand side, in those first few columns, you can see that there's a couple of rows that are giving I think that's right, there's div 0s. I mean, at least it says that. The worst thing is when you get a data table answer, and it does give you a bunch of answers and there's no errors in there, so you're like, oh god, I don't even know why it's wrong.
Yes, it's hard to tell if Esther's actually trying to now put her approach back into the data table. I mean, it looks like she's just doing things manually, and if I were her, I would just be going, well, this is here we go. So she's manually just like hacking around her answers now. William up to 1,020. Is that a perfect solve for level 7 without the bonus? It is. William's now off to the races with bonuses 3, 4, and 5. This is going to be down to the wire, isn't it, Charles?
Yeah, but I think that gives William a massive potential advantage here. I mean, there's only 4 points in it. I said that and then it changed. But William, if he gets, it's neck and neck. So for everybody watching, the key here now is we've got 3 bonus levels that nobody has locked out yet, and those bonus points I think are going to determine who wins this. And only 1 person out of the 4 live streamers gets that place into the main draw.
I will say, I said it's a race. It's not quite actually a race because for each of the bonuses, 2 people can get them. So for Esther, what she's hoping now is that Joseph stays in debug hell and can't start on those bonuses. If Joseph can't fix level 7, it's just those two get through, then they'll both get bonuses 3, 4, and 5. They've got time. They've got the 8 minutes. And, you know, what I said earlier about, you know, William maybe regretting not going for that bonus 2 will be the 15 points to decide this battle. But Joseph's not out of it yet at all. Like, it really is very close.
And I'm guessing, and again, I haven't been on the live stream yet, but you might see me on one soon. I'm guessing you don't have that much time if you're in Esther's position to see the scores and think, okay, well, this is exactly what's happening with Joseph. So looking at 2 people that are, less than 100 points behind you is probably going to make you nervous.
Oh, absolutely. All 3 of them are going to be very nervous at the moment. I think, you know, we have the luxury here that we just get to sit here and chat about. A, it's a case we've already done and looked at and thought about, but B, we can spend this half an hour thinking about the strategies they should be doing. They've got to think about that and also then solve the case.
Absolutely. There's one thing that I don't know if you thought about this at all. I didn't put anything in the light green cells. I was really confused by those. And it was only afterwards I was like, oh, was I supposed to put the right answers in there? Like, did that affect my score? I was just doing it all on separate tabs.
Now, there's a big thing here that Joseph, I think, has realised he can do bonus 3, which he's now got locked up, which means now only one of Esther or William can get bonus 3. I think Joseph's going to need to debug his level 7 to be able to do the same for 4 and 5, because 4 and 5 really are tests that you've got everything right. But now, with Joseph having done that, whoever get bonus 3 out of Esther and William, assuming they both then finish the same number of bonuses between them, will be the winner. So it is, Esther's now just going through, looking to see how many of them there she is. Oh, she's gone over it. She's counted how many of the right answer, and she's skipped over where it says 25.
She's going back. Oh no, she's gone back. Okay, so just for everyone watching, good. Oh yeah, good. So was that a question? Because that was a really good question, actually. I assume they can't hear us.
No, they can't hear us. Just to be clear to people, it's not like Esther's taking hints from me.
Excellent.
They cannot hear what we're saying on the stream, otherwise it would be quite helpful. So it looks like here what she's done is for everyone she's gone, how many people have put the correct answer. She's done that. She's got like row 90, like question 97 is the correct answer. She's got the 25, but she hasn't spotted it. She's got everything she needs.
Oh my, okay. So the problem is that, I mean, there's 5 minutes left, but the risk is that one of the other players is going to get these bonus points. I guess she's a little bit safe still, whilst Joseph hasn't got the full points for whichever level it is.
She spotted it. There she is.
Okay, good.
Is she going to put that? There we go. That's bonus 3. That is huge for Esther. Now, it doesn't mean she's safe at all. William could have just gone straight for looking at bonuses 4 and 5. They're very similar questions. They're a notion of, let's start working out everybody's final score. Bonus 4 is what's the highest score. Bonus 5 is who got the most questions right. So if William's spending time trying to make a table to solve both of those at once, he could very quickly sort that out. We're back to Joseph here, desperately trying to debug what he's got wrong with level 7.
So Michael, are we still in a position where any of the top 3 could win this, or do you think it's now locked out a little bit from Joseph?
I mean, I think so. I thought any of them. I think any of them still can. Like with 4.5 minutes to go, like bonus 4 and 5, they're not hard, but they're not easy. And certainly with the pressure and seeing that scoreboard as close as it is, to keep the composure to sort of just put that table together and get bonus 4 and 5 together with 4 minutes to go. Either Esther or William could do that. For Joseph to win now, he needs to debug this.
He may have just done it. He may have just done it. Let's have a look at Joseph. We're on it. Okay, so
the prime numbers, I guess. No, that doesn't sound. Was that right? Yes, he's got everything but the prime numbers, I think, or one of them is not right.
Okay, but he's still got time.
Yeah,
he's still got time.
And he's got all 3 bonuses. So if he, in the next 3.5 minutes, can get that final one right, but he only needs to get bonus 4 and 5 going now. William might have wasted some time with bonus 3, which is now fruitless. Hopefully he's realised that and has had the opportunity to move on. But no, now he's debugged it. It literally is any of the top 3's game. It is. I mean, this is one of the closest battles I've seen.
Oh, it's gone back to Esther's now taking the lead again. I think that may have even been Joseph's points changing down a bit. William's now gone into second.
4. Yes, look at that. William's got bonus 4, which means he will probably Like once you've got bonus 4, bonus 5 will fall in pretty short order if you set your stuff up correctly. So at the moment, I'd say Williams in the hot seat, but really it still could be any of our top 3. This is an incredible battle here today.
I think it's on Joseph. If you look at Joseph, he's got 95% of level 7. Yeah. If he can just debug that last 5%, he is in prime position. I think there's still time. Almost 3 minutes left to get the last 2 bonus questions done.
So that's William with level 5. So William's done. William can score no more points. He's finished everything he can. He now just has to sit there in limbo and wait for 2.5 minutes. If either Esther or Joseph can take the last bonus 4 or 5. Esther only needs one of the bonuses. I think Joseph needs both.
Let's go to Joseph for a second if we can. Oh, we got all the score. Oh, so Joseph's debugged level 7. All right, so Joseph has got the chance.
Level 1. He just debugged level 1. But which to be fair, if he gets bonus 4 and 5, he doesn't need level 1. Bonus 4 and 5 together are like 130, 140 points, I think. So that'll be enough. So William's in the hot seat. If either Esther or Joseph can get both of those bonuses together, they will take the lead. But with 2 minutes to go, anything can happen.
This is going to go right to the wire. What's your bet? Who are you gonna back?
I've got to back Esther.
Yeah. I'm going for Joseph. I just think it's going to be a last 5-second swoop.
Yes,
but we'll see.
I agree.
But I'm not putting any money on that, by the way.
No. It is also worth mentioning in our excitement over the top 3, which is a very exciting battle. It's great to see Jackson getting some more points to the board. I think he's managed to debug where he's at. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little late to win this battle, but it's great to see him finally getting some momentum. Oh, so he's just moved straight to level 6. I mean, that is bold. I love it.
So, and I think it is worth reiterating, like even to put yourself forward to be watched live doing this, it just deserves so much respect because it's so stressful. It must be so hard to keep on top of like the logic and what you're doing and the fact that loads of people are watching you. So kudos to everyone involved.
Absolutely. We've got 45 seconds to go. Esther trying desperately to get either bonus 4 or 5. I think either might be enough. I can't quite remember how much they're worth. Joseph needs both, or just to go back and do level 1. Level 1 will be some point that will help them move up. You get nothing for coming second here. So, I mean, for both of them, the correct strategy is to see if they can get that bonus 4 and 5. But this is going to go down to the wire. Let's see if Esther or Joseph, let's see if they're close to getting that final bonus together.
Joseph's got to do level 1. I've just checked. It's 60 points for level 1, so that wouldn't take him into the lead, but it would take him close. We're on Esther's screen. Can she get? What have we got? 70 points.
She's looking at max 60. I think that's the right answer. Put it in.
3 seconds. Put the answer in.
She's going to be timed out. No. What a battle that was! But William Freeston, by the smallest of margins, takes the win. Wow, what a battle.
He kind of did a version of what you had to do in Vegas last year, which was for the last however many seconds, just kind of go, all right, that's me done.
Yes, nothing he could do. There was absolutely nothing he could do. And it turns out we were saying that like the whole time, like, is bothering with those early bonuses or having a bit more time to get the final thing finished and get those final bonuses, is that the correct strategy? It looks like eschewing those easier points and trying to shoot for the moon and get bonus 4 and 5, everything done, that was the correct strategy today.
Awesome. That was so much fun. I love it when it's actually quite tight at the top and it's not just one person that's kind of dominated. That was brilliant fun. So should we bring people back and we'll see how they're feeling now, maybe?
Wow. Well done, everybody. That was an absolutely incredible battle. Let's talk to our winner first. William, that was very tight, but you managed to edge out there. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. Quite happy those last 2 bonuses went well because it kind of all cinched on that, especially as I misread the other 2 bonuses for a very long time. But yeah, very glad to fetch it out in the end.
How was the last 2.5 minutes for you? You sort of just had to sit there, like you were winning, but you couldn't score any more points, but you could be overtaken. What was that like for you?
It's all right. Just got to
very calm.
Just got to look at the YouTube chat, which catch up on a few A few bits there. So yeah, it's good fun.
Great to hear, Esther. I think you had the answer for bonus 5. I think you were so close.
I think it might have been the last, like I put it in half a second too late.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I had the 1 minute warning and I was furiously typing, but just missed it, I think.
Yeah, very close. And I will say, it has been for us in the commentary box and the users watching you all sort of the lead change so many times. It has been an incredible battle. So a big well done. Joseph, you look like you might be in the driver's seat for a while, as you were the only person to have the first 3 bonuses. Each of Esther and William had missed a couple of them, but just couldn't quite debug that level 7 as quickly. What went wrong there?
Yeah, I had I was referring to the wrong kind of area in my level 7, so that's why I got stuck there for a bit. So, congrats to the winner.
And Jackson, there, it seems like you had a difficult start, but then just get to head to level 5 and suddenly had that all sorted. What was going on there?
Well, I got confused by your correct answer, and then it wasn't until I really sort of got my head around it. I'd already wrongly answered several levels, and I suddenly got to level 5, had that level 6. I think I pasted my level 6 just a little too late. But yeah, I see now about how preparing it and how you're going to solve it. Because I thought I could just say, okay, VStack, just do lookups and go. But when it's just the cells on the white background, you haven't got any headers. I probably should have prepared something like that so I wouldn't get confused. So I did come into it a bit too late.
Well, it's great to see that you did sort of start coming in and coming and solving those harder cases right at the end. There's a lot of pressure in sort of reading all of these cases structures in such a small amount of time. So it's still very good effort there.
Yeah, well done, everyone. And look, we're going to go to an ad break in a minute or two, but I just wanted to give a shout out firstly to the sponsors who make this esport what it is. And genuinely, I think from me, Michael, all the players, everybody that watches, that we're so sincere about this. This wouldn't happen without the sponsors. And it is such a golden age for XL nerds at the moment with this incredible esport. So thank you to Microsoft, Sheetcast, Order.co, and the CFA Institute. And we couldn't do it without your support. A special mention goes out to Sheetcast. They're the premier sponsor of the season. Sheetcast is transforming how we use Excel, and it kind of lets you turn spreadsheets into seamless web apps. So thank you for all of the sponsors' support. And on that note, we will go to a short ad break.
These are provisional. I know that there are some sort of teething issues. And I did say to you before the stream, Giles, I reckon Dimmit will finish this in about 14 to 16 minutes.
You did. You called that to the minute.
So, it's nice to be in second. Honestly, higher than I thought I'd be. But, Dim with an absolutely incredible score there. Big well done to our new qualifiers. Gareth Watson in the 7th, Jacob Andrews, Bruno Marola, Chris Wilson, Bo Rinnabon. Good to see the XL Wizards qualify. I think they're... I don't know what was been tripping people up, but a lot of people got 95% on level 7, which I think is going to cause a lot of these 1239 scores. So there must be some little trick that a few people have missed here, but still amazing scores across the board, and great to see 16 perfect solves.
Well done.
Harry Gross from the
Fantastic.
qualify alongside Nick Lehman. That is great to see.
Harry's going to have to come to Vegas now. That's it. It's all over.
See a lot of familiar names going around here, and still see a lot of familiar names around, you know, the 40th to 60th as well. I mean, yeah, certainly a very high-scoring case, which, you know, they don't all have to be hard. It's nice to have something where a lot of people get a lot of the way through. So, you know, a big well done to everybody who's, you know, got over 1,000 points here today.
And I still really like that. Yeah, I know some players will like maybe seek harder cases, but I think it's good to see some high scores. The top players are going to finish things early. This is great.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's in Vegas. We do need to step up the difficulty a little bit, but
sure.
Certainly for these ones, it's a really fun case. And you know, to shout out Peter Charles again, like this was a great fun case, and I think a lot of people enjoyed it, and I hope they did. So this is our top 80 in the main bracket, but we also have a qualifier from the top under 25 and the top Masters category. You can see now Ho Kan Lee, our newest under 25 qualifier. Big well done to them. And our Masters leaderboard, Jan Hoffman, qualifying as well. Fantastic to see so many qualifiers into the draw.
Well done, everybody. That's fantastic. All right, well, that pretty much wraps it up. That was genuinely brilliant fun. It was great fun hosting it alongside you, Michael. I'm so chuffed that we got to talk about our solutions, because I think I will have learned a lot from what I saw you do. How's the experience been for you, commentating alongside the humble MVP? Must have been amazing, surely.
Oh, I mean, yes. You really are showing a humbleness there, Charles. But no, it has been a lot of fun both commentating alongside you. And genuinely, I think one of the closest and most exciting Road to Las Vegas battles we've had possibly ever. We've had some very tight battles in sort of the competition proper, but really, like, what a battle we've seen today. A big well done to our 4 contestants. And yeah, no, Charles, do you have any final thoughts with that?
I was so nervous that you were going to put even more outrageous clothing on to outdo me, that I had 4 fur coats ready to outdo you back, and then you put the belt on. I genuinely thought you were going to have a fur coat, so I'm actually slightly disappointed, but it's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you can get me in a fur coat in Vegas. I'm sure you'll bring them all to Vegas, and you can have pictures of me in the fur coat, and hopefully a new 2025 belt. But I imagine a lot of people are going to try and stop that from happening. And if you want to see me in a fur coat in Vegas, and possibly about 1,000 other much better reasons to come to Las Vegas and compete in December, get your flight books, get your hotel book, get your visa sorted out if you need to, and come to Vegas. It is an incredible time, and I'm looking forward to seeing Charles, our qualifiers today, and everybody else in the community there December 1st to 3rd. It's been a pleasure, Charles, and thank you everybody for watching. Like,
thank
and
you very
subscribe.
much.
I have to say that.
Like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all.
Bye-bye.